Skillet Band.
Skillet is a Christian rock band formed in Memphis, Tennessee in 1996 and based in the United States. The band currently consists of husband and wife John and Korey Cooper, along with Jen Ledger and Seth Morrison. The band has released 8 albums, 2 receiving Grammy nominations, Collide and Comatose. Awake has been certified platinum and debuted on number 2 on the Billboard 200, with Comatose certified gold by RIAA. Skillet went through several lineup changes early in their career, leaving founder John Cooper as the only original member remaining in the band. They have sold over 2 million albums in the US alone and are known for a relentless touring schedule, which garnered them a top 5 ranking in the hardest working bands of 2011 by Songkick.com.
Band history. Self-titled and Hey You, I Love Your Soul 1996-99.
Skillet formed in 1996 with 2 members, John Cooper, former vocalist for Tennessee progressive rock band Seraph, and Ken Steorts, former guitarist for Urgent Cry. The 2 bands met through touring together, but those bands disbanded soon after, so John and Ken's pastor encouraged them to form their own band as a side project. Coming from different styles of rock music, they decided to name the experiment Skillet. After Trey McClurkin joined the band as a temporary drummer. Skillet was only together for a month when they received interest from major Christian record label Forefront Records. In 1996 they released a self-titled debut Skillet. It was well received, and the trio continued to write new material as they toured the United States. One topic that comes up often among fans and the band itself, is the name Skillet. John Cooper, the lead vocalist, explains that it was a joke at first. Each starting band member was already in a separate band, and all decided to start a side project. Since each other band had a different sound and style to it, the side project was said to be like putting all of those styles in a big skillet to come up with something unique. Hence the band name Skillet. The band name is still somewhat of a joke between the band members, especially Cooper, who claims to still not like the title. Skillet recorded their follow-up album throughout 1997, titled Hey You, I Love Your Soul, which was released in April 1998. Their second effort was a change in style from the band's first release. With this release, Skillet would abandon their post-grunge approach for a lighter alternative rock and style. His wife Korey was enlisted soon after to play keyboards live in order to alleviate John's live performance duties.
Invincible, Ardent Worship, and Alien Youth 2000-02.
Shortly before the band began recording for their third album, Invincible, Steorts left the band to be with his family and launch Visible Music College, a modern music ministry college located in Memphis, and Kevin Haerland joined the band as their new guitarist. Korey Cooper joined the band permanently and played keyboards for the recording of Invincible. Because of this change, the musical style on Invincible changed to a more electronic sound. Soon after the release of Invincible in early 2000, Trey McClurkin parted ways with Skillet, and Laurie Peters filled the drummer's position. The band released their first worship album, and fourth album overall, Ardent Worship in late 2000. The band kept much of their sound from Invincible on their next album Alien Youth. With little time between touring and recording, Skillet released Alien Youth on August 28, 2001, which was the first album that John Cooper took on production duties. Before the release of Alien Youth, Haerland left the band, and Ben Cassicker took over on guitar. The first single, the title track, was a major hit in the Christian market and drove Skillet into their first headlining shows.
Collide 2003-05.
In 2003, Collide, the band's 6th studio album, was released by Ardent Records and contained 10 singles, including Savior, and Collide. This album was extremely popular and it soon caught the attention of Andy Karp, the head of A&R of Lava Records. In 2004 the rights to Collide were bought by Lava Records, an imprint of Atlantic Records. On May 25, 2004, Collide was re-released by Lava Records, with Open Wounds as an added track. The album was nominated for Best Rock Gospel Album in 2005. Collide was yet another musical shift for the band. Citing POD as inspiration for the musical shift on Collide, Cooper said, "Well, I'm one of these songwriters, everything I hear goes through my John Cooper filter of what I like and what I don't like. All these things have been an influence on me."
Comatose 2006-08.
Skillet's album Comatose was released on October 3, 2006. It features the singles Rebirthing, Whispers in the Dark, Comatose, The Older I Get, Those Nights, The Last Night, and Better Than Drugs. The album debuted at number 55 on the Billboard 200 and number 4 on the U.S. Top Christian Albums chart. In January 2008, Skillet announced that their drummer, Laurie Peters, was retiring from the band, feeling that it's time for her to come off of the road and start a new chapter in her life. Peters' last concert with Skillet was on December 31, 2007. However, during the 2007 Christmas season, she took the time to train Skillet's next drummer, Jen Ledger. On October 21, 2008, Comatose Comes Alive was released. A CD-DVD combo featuring live recordings of the band's May 9, 2008 concert in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It was shown on the Gospel Music Channel on December 5, 2008. Skillet's Comatose Comes Alive CD also had a B-side with Live Free or Let Me Die as a single, also with 5 acoustic tracks which purchasers could download by inserting the CD in their computer. The Comatose album was certified gold in sales by the RIAA on November 3, 2009.
Awake 2009-11.
Skillet announced that they went into the studio January 12 to finalize the new record with Grammy-nominated producer Howard Benson. They added 2 songs, Hero and Monster, from the new record to their setlist on April 2, 2009 in Evansville, Indiana as part of their Comatose Tour 2009. Skillet's 8th album, Awake, contains 12 songs and was released on August 25, 2009. It charted at number 2 on the Billboard Top 200, selling around 68,000 units in its first week. Monster was released as a single on July 14, 2009. Contrary to popular belief, John Cooper stated that Hero was not the album's lead single. It was, however, released as a single in March 2010. They also released a deluxe version with the extra songs Dead Inside and Would It Matter, along with the original radio edit of the Monster that does not have the distorted growlers in the single and in the CD. A remix on Monster was featured on one of their popular podcasts. The song Hero was used in the publicizing of the first football game of the 2009 NFL season between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Tennessee Titans, and the song Monster was used in the episode Jason, the Pretty Boy Bully on MTV's Bully Beatdown. Monster was the theme song for the WWE event WWE Hell in a Cell, while the song Hero was the theme song for WWE Tribute to the Troops and Royal Rumble 2010, as well as both songs being included on the official soundtrack for the WWE video game WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. Monster would also become the theme song for the AHL team the Lake Erie Monsters in Cleveland, Ohio, being played in the player intros and after a Lake Erie goal, and serves as the opening theme of the Fresno Monsters of Fresno, California. Monster was aired at the beginning of several ACC football games on Raysom Sports during the 2009 season. The song would become a marching band recording and be performed by schools all across the country because of its booming sound and lyrics. In the first week of April 2010, Monster was released for the Rock Band Music Store in Rock Band 2. It also tied the record for highest charting Christian album on the Billboard 200 with Andy Rhodes' 2006 release Define the Great Line and Casting Crowns' 2007 release The Altar and the Door, as all 3 albums debuted at number 2. Skillet was nominated for 6 Dove Awards for the 41st Annual GMA Dove Awards. Awake was certified gold July 2, 2010. Also in 2010, Ardent released The Early Years, a collection of their songs from 1996 to 2001. On November 12, Skillet released an iTunes Sessions EP consisting of songs from Comatose and Awake. Monster was certified gold a day later. On February 14, 2011, Skillet officially announced that longtime lead guitarist Ben Cassicker would be leaving the band. Cassicker was with the band for 10 years, contributing to the albums Alien Youth, Collide, Comatose, and Awake, as well as the live album Comatose Comes Alive. He played what was planned to be his last concert with the band on March 20. The band announced that they had chosen solo artist Jonathan Sles as their new guitarist, but Sles confirmed he had left the band on April 9 via Twitter. Cassicker returned and continued touring until a new guitarist was trained. On April 16, Seth Morrison replaced Cassicker as the lead guitarist, and now tours full-time with Skillet. Skillet announced the release of Awake and remixed EP in early March 2011. The remixes were mainly done by Korey Cooper and Ben Cassicker. On March 2, 2011, Skillet unveiled the album artwork for the album. John Cooper says the idea was conceived when Korey Cooper and Ben Cassicker remixed the song Monster for their popular podcast. The 4-song EP was released on March 22. Awake was nominated for and won the Top Christian Album Award at the Billboard Music Awards 2011, and the song Awake and Alive was announced to be on the Transformers: Dark of the Moon soundtrack in May 2011.
RIAA 2011 present.
On June 21, 2011, John posted to his Twitter account that the band rehearsed new music for the first time and that they are getting ready for a new album. At a question-and-answer session before a concert, John Cooper said that they would be recording a new record in January-February 2012. However, the band was then scheduled to headline the Winter Jam Tour. In January 2012, Skillet announced that they will not be touring for most of the summer so that they can record the new album. They plan to enter the studio at the conclusion of the Winter Jam Eastern Tour, approximately in May, for a release in late 2012. During a July 18, 2012 interview with RIAA, John Cooper stated the band currently had 61 songs written and would be heading into the studio in October to record the album with Howard Benson for an early 2013 release. In an interview with CCM magazine, John Cooper described the new album as a roller coaster ride. He states, "We have aggressive tracks, artsy and musical tracks, which is new territory for Skillet. A couple songs are classic American heartland anthems, and a couple songs are signature symphonic classical rock Skillet. Guitars are dirty and edgier, with absolute shredding solos by Seth." One of the songs mentioned in the interview was titled Salvation. In an interview on January 26, 2013 in Beaumont, TX, John Cooper announced that the new album, Rise, would be coming out in May 2013, but was later scheduled for a June 25, 2013 release. In an interview with Noise Creep, John Cooper stated the first single and music video is scheduled to be released by late April. The first single from the album, Sick of It, will be released to US rock radio on April 23, 2013. It was later confirmed that the first single, Sick of It, would be released on April 9, 2013. The album debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200 and number 1 on the Top Rock chart and Christian album charts, selling 60,000 copies in US alone during the first week of the release. Rise received critical acclaim as well. The band performed the title track off Rise on the July 11, 2013 airing of Conan. Skillet was nominated and won a Dove Award for Rock Song of the Year for their song Sick of It.
Musical style.
The band's style has been described as rock, Christian metal, alternative rock, hard rock, new metal, and symphonic metal. The band's eponymous debut album characterized by its grunge influences, while their follow-up album, Hey You, I Love Your Soul, was noted for its electronic elements and industrial feel. AllMusic reviewer James Christopher Munger described the band's musical style as a fusion of old metal, hard rock, post-grunge, and soaring alternative rock, in his review for the band's 2013 album, Rise.
Touring.
In the middle of 2006, Korey Cooper took a break from performing, due to her pregnancy with their second child. Her rhythm guitar and keyboard roles were temporarily filled by two people, Andrea Winchell, who would later become the Coopers' nanny, on keys, and Chris Marvin, lead singer guitar of The Spark, on guitar. Skillet toured with Ron Luce and Teen Mania Ministries on their Acquire the Fire tour across the United States and Canada in 2007. When they returned, Skillet had plans to co-headline the Justice and Mercy tour with Flyleaf, but the tour was postponed and ultimately cancelled after a number of shows due to Flyleaf-led vocalist Lacey Mosley's vocal problems. They then toured with Luce's Global Expeditions program on a summer missions trip with teenagers to Mexico. In 2008 they joined Teen Mania Ministries and toured with Acquire the Fire. Skillet joined Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace, and Seether on the first half of their tour in fall 2007. Then Skillet headlined their own Comatose tour alongside Thousand Foot Crotch and traveled to approximately 30 cities. The tour started on March 28 and ran through May 11, 2008. Skillet toured again from April 2009 through June 2009 with Decipher Down and Disciple. This tour was called Comatose Tour 2009, essentially a second branch of the 2008 Comatose Tour. In fall of 2009, Skillet began touring with Hawk Nelson, Decipher Down, and The Letter Black to promote Skillet's album Awake. The Awake and Alive tour encompassed 52 cities from October through January. Skillet appeared at the 2009 Night of Joy Christian Rock Festival at Disney Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World. This marked the band's first absence from Universal Studios Orlando's Rock the Universe in 5 years due to conflicting schedules. However, they were able to perform the following year, in 2010. On September 26, 2009, Skillet appeared at Awakening Music Festival in Leesburg, Virginia, alongside Jeremy Camp, Cutlass, Hawk Nelson, Disciple, Decipher Down, and others. Skillet also played at the Superdome in New Orleans for the ELCA National Youth Gathering in 2009. Skillet headlined 2 separate Rock the River tours, run by the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association, and hosted by Franklin Graham. Those tours were Rock the River, Midwest in the summer of 2009 and Rock the River, West in the summer of 2010. In January 2010 they toured with Puddle of Mud and Shine Down through the east coast of the United States. They also announced on their live chat with fans on December 5, 2009 that they would be touring with TobyMac in March and April 2010. This was later expanded upon as the Awake Tonight tour named after both artists' new albums. House of Heroes joined them on the tour as the opening act. In April and May the band continued on a second branch of their Awake and Alive tour with A Letter Black and Red. In April it was also announced that the band would be touring with Creed and Theft in August and September 2010. In October the band will be co-headlining the Monsters of Annihilation tour with Papa Roach. Trapped and My Darkest Days will be supporting acts. They toured again with TobyMac in November and December as the 2010 version of the Winter Wonder Slam Tour. On July 4, Skillet played at Creation Festival East and John Cooper called it the best show of Skillet's career. In January 2011, Skillet confirmed that they would be touring with Stone Sour and Theory of a Dead Man on the Avalanche Tour. The tour began at the end of March 2011 and concluded on May 8 in Jacksonville, FL. Other supporting acts include Halestorm and Art of Dying. The band had a small international tour in January and February 2011 visiting Australia, New Zealand's Parachute Music Festival, and Japan. In October 2011, the band continued their Awake and Alive tour with Disciple, We As Human, and Manifest. Announced in October 2011, Skillet are headlining the 2012 Winter Jam Tour for the central and eastern parts of the United States. Starting on August 13, 2013 Skillet toured with Shinedown, Papa Roach, In This Moment, and We As Human, on the Carnival of Madness Tour. Skillet started 2014 co-headlining the Roadshow 2014 with Third Day during January and February. The tour included Jamie Grace, Andy Mineo, We As Human. Upon completion, the band will continue co-headlining alongside Third Day that will count with Mondeeza, Brandon Heath, Jamie Grace and We As Human as opening acts. Then the band is scheduled to tour with TobyMac and Lecrae in May alongside Capital Kings, Dodasha, and We As Human.
Band members:
John Cooper, lead vocals, bass guitar, 1996–present. Korey Cooper, rhythm guitar, keyboards, backing vocals, 1999–present. Jen Ledger, drums, vocals, 2008–present. Seth Morrison, lead guitar, 2011–present. Kevin Hayland, lead guitar, 1999–2001. Ben Cassica, lead guitar, 2001–2011, 2011. Trey McClurkin, drums, backing vocals, 1996–2000. Laurie Peters, drums, 2000–2007. Jonathan Sliz, lead guitar, 2011. Ken Steorts, lead guitar, 1996–1999. Billy Dawson, rhythm guitar, 2000. Faith Stern, keyboards, vocals, 2002–2003. Chris Marvin, rhythm guitar, backing vocals, 2002–2003, 2005–2006. Andrea Winchell, keyboards, 2005–2006. Jonathan Chu, violin, 2008–present. Tate Olson, cello, 2008–present. Scotty Rock, bass, 2009–2011.
Timeline. Discography.
Studio albums. Skillet, 1996. Hey You, I Love Your Soul, 1998. Invincible, 2000. Alien Youth, 2001. Collide, 2003. Comatose, 2006. Awake, 2009. Rise, 2013. This is a list of major releases only. Additional releases including EPs, live albums, singles, compilation albums and videos may be found at the full discography article.
Awards and recognition.